Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Nicklick. So in today's video, I'm going to explain you how to create a session in Laravel 8. So talking about session is the very important part of your project. You need session to log in, log out your users. You need a session variable to store your values by which you can like pass your values from one page to the another page. So let's start creating a session and how to deal with a session in Laravel. So for that, I have to create a route in which I'm going to check a render a session form. So for that, I need to create a slash session form that will render a function in a controller, and let's say we can render here as session form. So let's start with this. So if I'm going to check its inbox, then localhost, and it's my second project public, and what I have seen here is session form. I have forgot to put a semicolon over here. So session, its form. So if I'm going to run this, so it's giving me an error. That is because I have not created a session form function in my iController. So here I'm going to create a function session form, and session form will be rendering me with a view that is return view, and that will be your session. You can say session form, the same name we can just use. So it will render a view name session form. So I'm just going to copy paste my cookie form, and I'm going to just right here as session form blade.php, and if I'm going to refresh this, my session form has been appeared. So having a quick review about what I have done is, first of all, by placing a session form URL in your address bar, it is going to take me on the function of session form in iController. Then session form function will return a view name session form that I have been created over here, session form. So this view is right now having a username and password, and I'm going to just change this. So it will be having, let's change its name to its username, and I can place here name as password. So input type submit, the name should be S. It's a token that is mandatory to whenever we need to create a Laravel form. This token is mandatory. So I need to change a URL over here. I can say here as session form submit URL. So whenever this form is being submitted, it is going to take me to the session form submit URL. So I need to create a session form submit URL in my routes file. So as my method is post, so I need to create a post method here. So route post, and I will be saying here as session form submit, and a session form submit will be taking me to the function name session form submit, or you can say let's say here session form submit only, SFM, session form submit. So I have created a SFM function in iController. So moving to my iController, I will be writing here the function name with SFM. So SFM will be the function name, as this function will be called by my form. So here I have to declare my request class, and along with the request, I need to create a request method. So here I can say I can just catch up my username with the help of request get. Username is the keyword which I have been the name which I have given to my username text box, and password is the next I have given to my password. So getting this username and password, and again I'm going to check here as if username equals to admin, and password equals to admin. uh, Now I'm going to create a session. So session is you can say inbuilt that is object, or you can say Laravel the main function. So if you are using session here, you need to use it in the upper part. So here I can just import here with the help of use function, use session. So now you can use session object over here. So session, what is a inbuilt function of this session? And I'm going to create a session variable named user session, and I'm going to put the value of done in that variable. In the user session variable, I have, if the username have the value has a value of admin and password is having a value of admin, and if these both values are true, then a session variable with user session is being created and its value is being placed as done. So after its value is placed as done, I need to redirect it to the some new page. Let it be the home page. So slash home, I will be creating a URL. So it will be redirecting to my this home URL. So that home URL I need to create over here. So that will be my you can say a get post, a get route. So route get. So whenever this home is being encountered, it is going to take me to let's create a function named home in our I controller. So home will be the function that I need to create my I controller. So here public function home, and this home function will be returning a view, return view. Let it be home view, it will be returning. So I need to create a view. I will just copy this session from blade and I will be saving it to home blade.php. I have home blade.php, so I will be replacing it with home1.blade.php, and I will be I should open this form also. So need to explain it in the go. So home one. So right now I have been created a home one view, and in the one view I'm going to check here as I have to write here as that if, so as I have saved my file with the blade method, with the blade extension, so I can use this Laravel, you can say Laravel shortcodes at the rate. So in this, I am going to check here as if session has user session. So if my session variable with the name user session is having a value, then this all will be rendered, and else, and I can say here as and if else, this will be rendered. So in this I can put here as script, and I can just here as window dot location equals to, let it be the double quotes, the URL. It will be taking me to the session form. So session form is a URL that I have been created that is going to take me to the session form. And if the session user is empty, then it will be coming in the else part. If session user is not empty, then it will be displaying with a message h1 welcome, you are logged in, and this will be your home page, and I can just put here as h1, and I can just use as a center tag so that it can look something, it should be coming somewhere in the center. So I can say here as this is my home page. And along with this, I will be here using a logout button. And in the logout button, after clicking on a logout, it will be taking me to a URL name logout user. So it will be taking me to this URL, and this URL I need to create in my web.php. So here I am just going to copy this because it will be my get URL. So logout user, I have seen here as its logout user, and logout user will be taking me to the logout function in iController. So I will be creating a logout function, public function logout, and here I'm going to destroy my session variable whichever is been created. So for that I need to call the flush method, and it will be redirecting me to return redirect. It will be taking me to the session form URL. So session form URL is my this URL. It will be taking me back to the session form URL that I have been displaying. So, so if I'm going to refresh my page, it is session form. So session form has been taken me to the iController. This one, this session form function, because a session form is taking me to the session form function, and session form is returning me the session form blade file. So this file has been rendered. So now after submitting a URL, it will be taking me to the session form submit function. So let's start. Like there is some error when I'm going to refresh this page. I think there is some semicolon missing over there. So here the semicolon is missing. So now it's working fine. So session form blade, right now this file is being rendered. So when I'm going to submit this file, it will be taking me to the session form submit URL. So let's start. Admin. And if I'm going to submit this, it is taking me to the session form submit. Session form submit is the this method. So session form submit is a URL, and this URL has been taken me to the iController SFM method. So iController SFM method, it has been received, and here the request get username has been a value has been passed to username, and here the value has been passed to the password, and here username admin is being checked, and it is been returning. Then username admin and password admin is been. So after checking its admin and admin, it is taking me to a session variable, in which session variable is made, and a user session variable is made with the value done, and it is taking me to the redirect to home/home. So right now I have been encountered with some error message, or it has taken me to another page. So I think there is some problem in this redirect, as I have written here as slash home, and if I'm checking here web slash home, it's looking fine. Oh, I have created a root with the name home extra also, so that same root names are not being valid. So I am going to put here as home one, and in the I controller I will be redirecting it to the home one. So checking my form further, if admin is there, it is now it's like looking good. So username is been picked by username, password is been picked by password, username is admin, password is admin, condition becomes true, then the session variable is made, the user session variable is made with the value done, and it is taking me to the redirection to the home one URL. So looking on to the web.php file, home one URL will be taking me to the home method of iControl home function of iController. If I look onto the home function of iController, it is returning me the view of home1.blade.php. So home1.blade.php, the first line is encountered here is if session variable has user session. Right now we have gone to home one by creating a user session variable. So condition becomes true, and it has displayed me the method, the function, the message will welcome you are logged in, and this is my home page, and there is a button called logout, and if the user session is not being made, it will be displaying me the message as window location session form. It will be taking me to a session form. So right now, you have seen with this, you are logged in and this is my home page. And if I'm going to click on logout, so by clicking on a logout, it will be taking me to a logout user URL. So looking onto the web.php file, the logout URL, when it will be encountered over here, it will be taking me to the logout function of iController. So moving to the iController logout function, when it will be encountered, it will be flushing my all the session variables that is being created, means the user session variable that is being created and that has a value of done with it. With the using session flush method, it will be all the session variable will be wind up or will be deleted, and after deleting that session variable, it will be taking me to the session form file, session form URL, and session form URL will be rendering my session form blade file. So I'm going to click on a logout. So it is like it's working fine. The session variable is being deleted and it has taken me back to the session form file. So this was all about your session, and if I'm looking on to bypass this session variable, if I just check out this by writing the home one URL, because home one URL will be taking me to the home iController. So if I'm going to check this, it is again coming back to home one. Is look at this URL. So home one, when I'm going to click enter, I'm clicking enter over here, enter, so it is coming back to the session form. Why? Because if I am going to open home one URL directly, it is taking me to the iController home function, and home function is returning the view home one. So when this home one view will be returned, it will be first of all checking that if session user session is been existing. We are opening directly home one URL, so there no session will be created, because session will be created with the help of this username and password if I'm logging to with username and password. So in this way, if I'm going to open home one URL, then home one URL in my browser, it will be coming to this home1.blade file, and here it will be checking that user session is not being created. So this condition becomes false, and it is going to take me to a session form URL. So session form URL will open your SFM method in your iController, and SFM method will be returning sorry, the session form URL, the session form URL will be taking me to your session form method, and session form method will be just rendering your view. So in this way, you can just implement session in your Laravel. I hope you like my videos. Do subscribe my channel for getting all the latest updates of Laravel tutorials, and do like and share my videos. So thanks for watching the session variable, how to create a session variable in Laravel.